All right. Welcome to another episode of the Freezin NFC North Podcast, episode 89. We're heading toward the draft. We're going to do a little bit more deep dive into the draft division player target storylines, anything fun that has come up in the last couple of weeks. We were off last week, so we've got still a lot to talk about. And welcome in. It's been a little while. Dave, where can everyone find you?
I'm on Twitter still. You can still find me out there at Viking Dave 18. I haven't been as active lately though. It's off season. I get, I like to let everyone else talk their trash, but I'm ready for the draft next week, so that's all that matters.
Are you still on the Dobbs train, or are you?
Dobbs is a 49er now. Who needs Dobbs? Who needs that bone?
Oh, okay. So you've moved on. All right.
He had a couple good weeks. That's all we needed him for.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, and obviously, welcome in again, Trevor. Where can everyone find you as we get started?
Yeah, RevTrev, NFL, TikTok, YouTube, X, and Facebook.
All that fun stuff. And, obviously, we got a lot going on, so wasn't sure you were going to be able to join. Invited Miles. Where can everyone find you, sir?
Good evening, everybody. You can find me at Miles Tedic on... I'm calling it Twix now because I can't let Twitter go. I'm not ready to call it X, but I'll live in between. And then every Monday night at 9:30 on the Pack Weekly podcast. Check us out.
Very good. Very good. Looks like you're mellow tonight. That's good. That's good. Everyone's mellow. Everyone's getting ready for the draft. Everyone's excited. I'm excited for my Bears. You can find me on NFLOutdated on the Twix, on Twitter, on YouTube. You can find us on Freezin 4, Freezin, the number 4 pod on the TikTok. I need to add some more content on there. And, who always helps with the content is, the reigning champ in the corner, in the champ corner. Where can everyone find you, Seventh Letter?
At the top of the NFC North.
Oh, man.
That's where you'll find me, Dave.
We'll let you have your 1 year. I mean, it's been long enough for you, so I'll let you gloat now.
Man, I'll see you again. See you again in January, man. See you again. Seventh Letter on Twitter. Same OG on Facebook and Instagram. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
Well, let's just get right to this. And we did this a couple weeks ago. Obviously, we take a little bit of break. I had a little bit of a trip to Mexico, come back rested and everything. Seventh Letter, we had a chance to do this. Let's just do this for our friend Dave here as well. Are you ready, Seventh Letter?
Yes, I am.
JJ McCarthy? Really?
Really?
Who are you, Dave? What quarterback are you really hoping that the Vikings, because they have to select a quarterback? Whose train are you on? I know we were on the Dobbs train for a while. You're not now. So whose train are you
on? The guy I like the most is May. I don't know if we're going to go up and get him, but I've come to the conclusion that I trust the coaches. If they take McCarthy, then that's fine. I'm fine with it. I don't really care. At one point, I wanted Johnny Manziel. I mean, I wanted all these guys. I don't know. I'm not a freaking, I don't know what I'm talking about. I think these guys look good in college, and I'm not a scout, so I do like.
I respect that you admit that you wanted Johnny Manziel.
I did. I wanted him bad.
You don't have to admit that.
I did. I wanted Johnny. There's other guys. I wanted a lot of busts, but it is what it is. I do want May, but again, if the coaches, I trust O'Connell, I trust Kwesi that they have a plan, and whoever they drafted, this is what they waited for. They waited for Kirk's contract to end. I'm sure they've done, all of the research that they need to do. Those guys are smarter than me. So, if they decide that McCarthy's the guy or who, whether they want to wait and take Bo Nix or Penix, I don't know who that's going to be, but I trust those guys at this point. Can they go up and get the guy that they want? I hope that they can. I hope that whoever it is that they identify as the guy, they just go up and get him. Whatever it costs, as long as it's not something outrageous. I would rather them do that. So my May is the guy that I like the most. But again, I wanted Johnny Manziel too. So yeah, who knows what's gonna happen.
So no Jaden Daniels then.
I don't think. I mean, it sounds like he's going number 2, and I don't think Washington's trading that pick. So I mean, if they say him and they go get him, I'm fine with that. I'm honestly fine. Like I said, any of these guys that they decide to get, I'll be on board with. I don't hate any of them. I don't think there's any. There's nobody that was like, oh, Justin Fields sucks. There's no Justin Fields in these out of these guys. So whoever they
there it is. Okay.
I'll be. I don't hate
waiting for
any of these guys.
He's moved on. He's moved on. He moved on.
I had my tearful exit, tearful goodbye.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
But you know, I gotta have fun with it. Trevor, what quarterback are you worried about the Vikings taking?
I'm worried if they take Jaden Daniels. That's who I'm worried about. Obviously, I don't think they're going to get Caleb. I'd be worried if they got Caleb as well, probably, just because they have such better weapons in Chicago. But, you know, sorry. I'm trying to keep a straight face.
Oh, come on.
Okay, no.
DJ Moore.
Actually, you know what? The only one that I would not take is I would not take J.J. McCarthy. I don't think he's very good. I think he was in a very good program. But if I was the Minnesota Vikings, I would not trade down unless you could get a top 3 pick. If you could get a top 3 pick and get May, Daniels, Caleb, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would trade 11 and 23, but they're probably not going to be able to do that. So what I would do is I would wait and get at 11. At 11, I almost guarantee you J.J. McCarthy is going to be there. And then I wouldn't even take J.J. McCarthy at 11. I'd wait till 23 and get Bo Nix or Penix Jr. I think those guys are going to be better than J.J. McCarthy. So that was what I would do. But, you know, I've been right a lot. I mean, I wasn't on the Manziel bandwagon. I was right. So I've been nailing the draft lately. And but nobody listens to me, everyone. You're the only guys that listen. You're not even paying attention when I talk. So like I don't know what the GMs are not doing by not watching the show and listening to what we say, because we know what we're talking about. So
he's right.
I was distracted by
in the green room of any NFL team. That would just be so awesome.
I was distracted by your T-shirt. I think it says "Playoff Choketown," doesn't it?
Absolutely not.
Miles, are you worried about?
I know it's the Dave. You know when it's the off season? That's when the Bears think they're good.
That's 100% true.
Right?
Yes.
I'm okay with that. Well, you know, Miles, you know, no matter what quarterback they choose, Miles, are you worried about the Vikings at all in 2024?
Man, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, you know, obviously we got to worry about the Lions, but I think the Kings of the North are about to, you know, take our place again. You guys had some fun. We took a year off. So,
2 years off, by the way. 2 years.
Sorry. Felt like one. You know,
Just
goes by
remind you
quick.
that. And
you know, we haven't been rebuilding for the better part of a decade like some of our other folks here, but
wow, he is talking crazy.
wow.
No, I mean, you still got Jefferson, you still got some respectable players. O'Connell, he's gonna run a good ship. I can't say I'm worried. Like right now with what the Packers have put together, man, I'm not worried about anybody. You know, not to say that they'll go undefeated or something like that. Just like I'm at that point again with the Packers where I feel like they can win every game they go into at this point.
Do you have any, obviously drafts next week, do you have any like players that you say, you know, definitely want to get? Because obviously, you know, Cooper DeJean is the big name and he's my Iowa guy, but, you know, I was on Packer podcast last week and I heard that maybe he doesn't fit what the new defensive coordinator wants to do. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I think it really depends on how a team uses him. I mean, if the Packers draft him, I said this early on in the process too, if the Packers draft him, they're drafting him as a safety. And I know he's listed as a corner, and that's why folks would say that. I just don't see them taking him as a corner. Because and I'm not some scout or expert or anything, but if you watch him on film, he definitely excels in the zone more than he does in press man. And Hafley has said that, and everybody's kind of acknowledged it, he wants to play press man, not all the 100% of the time, but he does want to majority of the time. And you've already got at least Alexander and Valentine, if not getting also Stokes back healthy. We'll see what that ends up being. That feels like a Bakhtiari 2.0 situation developing there. But yeah, I mean, you've got potentially 3 good press man corners, even Valentine. So I don't think you need to take somebody who's not a natural press man corner and try to force them into that role. But I do think he fits really well in what they need in like that nickel position, or that maybe like, their second safety next to Xavier McKinney. It just kind of depends on how you're looking at them. And the funny thing about this draft is I think a lot of positions are like that. And it hasn't always been the case in the past, but like the running back position comes to mind. It like who goes where really depends on what the team values,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. As far as a favorite gotta have player, I there's a few that I really like. I keep saying I would love to have Tavondre Sweat. I don't care about his, getting into trouble. He'll be fine. Green Bay is as boring as it gets. Put him up there and he'll stay out of trouble.
I head over to Appleton for trouble.
Yeah. Man, Appleton can get kind of troublesome. But I want to put that mountain of a man in the middle of the defensive line, man. 360 pounds, moving the way that he does, next to Kenny Clark and with the rest of the guys on that D-line. I think that would be a lot of fun for the Packers. I have no idea at this point where you would get that guy. I imagine he'll fall a little bit for what he did, so maybe he's still a 3rd-round pick, something like that. But he's one I would love to see. There's a lot. I'm trying to go away from the real popular ones. Obviously, Graham Barton is a popular name. DeJean is a popular name. And if, history has taught us anything, Packers Twitter doesn't get what Packers Twitter wants. So we're not getting DeJean or Barton.
Yeah. Well, speaking of kind of Twitter and everything and communities, the draft is in Detroit. And I'm not sure how much you, Seven Letter, you interact with all of the, your Detroit Lion fan brethren. And what's kind of the tone, or just preparing to have the draft in the home city?
Well, I think, like I told you, I'm only really a part of like one Detroit Lions chat, and everybody's very comfortable with trading out of that spot. So I wouldn't mind, because I think we can still get, because we need a guard, maybe even a young corner, but I think those players are there in the 2nd round, and we can pick up some more picks. We gave up a 3rd round for Carlton Davis, so we probably, can use another one. We have 4 picks in the top 100, so I'm sure I trust Brad in the draft, though. He drafts very well. He doesn't have the, those top 15 picks anymore, but he has found some really good players from the 2nd to the 7th. So I trust that if he does trade out, he'll pick the right player. If not, everyone's comfortable with another receiver. I am. I think that, if I believe in making your best positions, your best side of the ball better, and offensive line and wide receiver is something you can never have too many of. I've had 3, I've had none. So to have more is better. So I think if we want to go a little bit farther, make that next step, we need to probably get a little bit more, people that can score on the field. So wide receiver, guard. I know everybody thinks corner, but I think we kind of took care of that pretty well in free agency. But I do think we probably could pick up somewhere in those top 3 picks, that we have. We can get another cornerback. Cooper DeJean will be gone. All of the top ones will be gone, but we can get a few, maybe somebody that we can develop and behind the 2 that we have now, Meek Robinson and Carlton Davis. We also get homeboy back from the 49ers this year. I can't remember his name. Mosley. So If he can stay healthy, we'll be able to cover now, which will make us a better defense.
So, Trevor, you've been killing it with your content, with doing like draft stuff. Like, are there any names that are kind of popping out when you're doing some of these podcasts with some of the other NFL teams?
Yeah, actually, that's why I've been doing those podcasts, because I feel like I don't really know what I'm talking about, because I don't get the college scene like you guys do. So I lean on people who are really knowledgeable about that. I've learned a lot. I find that a lot of Packers fans are wanting Kool-Aid McKinstry a lot at that 25 position. I'm kind of like Miles. I mean, I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of guys I want. I mean, I wish I had another 5 picks, because there's the guy I want for sure is I want Edrin Cooper. That guy is a beast. Texas A&M linebacker. I think he's going to be the real deal. He looks mean. He looks intelligent. I just saw a play by him today where he read the halfback screen, went through 3 guys and got the tackle, and it was like perfectly anticipated. Now I get that right now is the time where everyone's showing all the best highlights. I mean, remember when Zach Wilson was good? Remember they showed that one throw he made at that whatever day it was, the pro day.
That's another guy I wanted. That's how bad I am with quarterback.
I wanted him too. I wanted him too.
All those
arm, man. I loved it.
Right?
All those BYU quarterbacks on the Vikings.
But I wouldn't mind the Sweat guy deal. But what about like Murphy's there from the same team? He looks dynamic, man. He looks dynamic as well. I think there's just a lot of great talent out there, and I'm not really sure the way that the Packers are going to go. The only thing I think that we're not going to do is we're not going to get a wide receiver. But when it comes to running backs, I think we're going to get a running back later on, and I'm really excited. There's so many good running backs this year that I'm personally excited, because I don't think A.J. Dillon's going to be the long-term solution in Green Bay, even though I love him. I think he's great. He had a bad year last year, but I'm really pumped about Brooks. I'm pumped about Allen. Like, he looks like Estime, there's a lot of different things. Maybe he's good. Corum's good. Like, I just think there's so many great players, but I feel like linebacker for me drops off. If there's 2 elite guys, maybe 3, and then it's just like, it's a crapshoot. So I feel like I've learned a lot. Like, I would love Joe Alt to get drafted to us, or Barton, or Powers Johnson. Like, but I don't think any of those guys get to us at 25. The good news is there's so many teams that need quarterbacks that they're going to push down all the elite players, and then some people are going to trade up for stupid stuff. So there's a possibility we might be able to land somebody really good at 25. I do not think we should be trading down. I've heard rumors of that. I don't get it. So
it's going to be a receiver.
Yeah, I think that the receivers, they're going to be a run on receivers. Yeah, they're going to be a run on receivers.
Which is great.
Yeah, so that's going to push a lot of good players down. So
how crazy would that be if the Packers traded with the Bears? I mean, that would be we saw the Vikings trading with the Lions was a couple years ago now, but I mean that would be crazy.
You mean for one?
For their
right?
They need Packers definitely need a quarterback. No. But yeah, at 9, because obviously I've heard Jared Verse. I would love Joe Alt and Roma Dunze. That's the crazy narrative now is the Bears should trade up to get Marvin Harrison. I mean, yeah, I love Marvin Harrison, but we just don't have enough capital to do that. I would love something similar that happened last year. Maybe trade down to 10 or 11 with the Vikings, something, and get extra picks in the second round, something like that, to just continue to get players to fill out the roster. The Bears need to do that, need to continue to put things around. Now that another rookie quarterback in Caleb, which I'm going to have a lot of expectations, and we can definitely talk about that. I wanted to ask you, Dave, obviously the Vikings are going to be bringing in a quarterback, and and I know you're a big fan and kind of live and die with every game. Are you ready to kind of go into the 2024 season with the Vikings and say, okay, well, it's a rebuilding season and not expect very many wins?
I don't think they're going to be as bad as some people think that they're going to be.
Okay, so
I don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl team. I just don't think they're as I can usually be pretty realistic. And even last year, I thought they were going to be decent, and they were until if Cousins are getting hurt, I think they would have been fine. I don't think that they're going to be terrible. I think they have a few needs. Obviously, a quarterback is one of them. But I think when you got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and a decent offensive line, and you got some players, you got a good coach, I think, that you can win, and be in the playoff contention. Does that mean, is that a good thing? Or maybe, do you want to be picking in the middle of the draft? Probably not. Maybe they should just have a terrible season and go 3 or 4 wins. I just don't think that they're that bad. Like, that's bad teams, win 3 games. And I don't think they're that bad. So I just don't think that they're going to be one of the top, 5 worst teams in the league. That's just not how bad I think they are. I think they have good enough talent. And what if they hit on one? What if they hit on a quarterback and he's as good as, a Stroud type? I'm not saying he will be. I don't know. Can you telling me that this guy, whoever he is, can't take, the weapons that we have and win 10 games? Like, look what Houston did last year. We know what a quarterback can do if they're great. Now, again, I don't think that the quarterback's going to start right away. I think they want Darnold to start from the start and give this guy time to sit. I think that that's the plan. Now, if the season goes sideways, there's going to be a lot of chatter for a quarterback. That's how it always is, with any team. So it just depends on how good or bad Darnold plays, how good or bad the defense is. I just don't think that they're a bottom 5 team, but I also don't think that they're a Super Bowl team either.
Now, they do need, overall, they do need to sign Justin Jefferson, right?
Oh, I mean, of course. He's going to get all the money in the world. He's as good as, anybody. I think anybody would agree with that. I wish it would get done sooner than later. I'm sure that they have a plan for that, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. I wish it would get done sooner than, like I said, I've seen this team trade too many good receivers. Now, the guy, Randy Moss, Stephon Diggs, Percy Harvin, guys who I just loved and and never thought they would trade them, and then boom, they're gone. So I don't think that that's going to happen, but I didn't think the last of the guys would happen. So if they trade him, all I know is they better get freaking everything in the world for him, because he's a difference maker, man. Like, he had 1,000 yards. He played 10 games last year. You know what I mean? Like, with 4 different quarterbacks. He's as good as anybody in the world. So
how worried are you that it doesn't get done and they get rid
I'm
of it?
not terrified yet. I'm not. I wish it would happen. I know he missed OTAs the other day. Lots of guys do that. So I'm not sweating it yet. They have 1 more year, plus they have franchise tag, if they want to, unless he just, pulls a Diggs and, becomes, malcontent and all that, you never know. I'm not terrified yet. I just wish it would get done.
Fair enough.
Well, I was going to say, at least you're not in the camp, and maybe speaking out of turn here, at least you're not in the camp that says, obviously Addison's good. But
I love
at least
Addison.
but at least you're not saying, well, Addison, Justin who? I mean, Justin Jefferson,
No,
he's the best wide receiver.
He's the best
in
in the world, and you can argue that with the wall. I'm sorry. Like, Tyreek is Tyreek, and there's a ton of great receivers in this league. Yes, I'm a little bit of a homer. I get it, but I think most of you guys would probably agree Justin Jefferson is the best in the world. I just think he's amazing, and he makes everything easier for these guys. I mean, he played, what do you have, 180 yards last week of the season with Nick Mullins or whoever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's that guy. He's amazing. Every time he's out there, he's always open, it seems like. So he just makes everybody better.
He had like 200.
Close to it, I think. Yeah.
I think he had 200 the last.
He was ridiculous.
Well, let's shift a little bit schedule-wise. It came out Packers are going to Brazil. Miles, what is your reaction to the Packers starting the season out 0-1?
Oh, man. Goodness. Shots fired. I'll say this. The last time the Packers opened the season on the road against the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
You're going there. You're going there.
Let's go.
I mean, we got a lot of other parallels on, as far as like, history, or what is it? History rhymes or something like that. I'm still waiting for the Vikings to pull one and go get Rodgers. I still think that's going to happen. So, we'll just see how the rest of the offseason goes.
Well, maybe
it's going to happen. It's part of the prophecy. Everything else has come true.
I know. I was hoping for it.
Oh no, you don't want that circus.
Post-draft shenanigans, man. You just never know.
We'll give him Sam Darnold back.
Yeah, exactly. Make this thing go full circle.
Let's do it.
No, I love it. I'm pumped that they're going to Brazil. I like opening the season against the Eagles. I think it's a good, I don't know, it should be a good motivator for them. Not like previous openers haven't been, but, there's obviously still some of those stinker openers in our recent memory. So I really don't want to see that. I think, it's easy to get distracted with international games.
Mm-hmm.
But the Eagles, man, like there's a lot of firepower on that team, and that's a big defense. So I mean, there's no room for anybody to sleep on that opening game, I don't think. And I mean, Brazil, man, what a crowd! I can't wait to see what that atmosphere is like.
I didn't realize too that the Packers have one of the biggest followings in Brazil. I mean,
Yeah.
NFL. I mean, that's the there's a huge following in Brazil, Packer fans.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it was the NFC and that or the NFC Championship. T-shirts that were sent over there that didn't quite land.
Whatever works.
Gosh, man. That's good. Fair enough.
Johnny Guy, it's been a couple weeks. I'm a little punchy here. All right, I'll let you guys talk about my my Bears playing in the Texans in the Hall of Fame game. How about that?
Yet.
Yeah, so we're gonna see my guy Caleb. I've always been a Caleb guy. All about Caleb.
There we go.
Always.
Wait a
minute. You mean your Bears, are they playing Thursday night?
No, so the Hall of Fame game, yeah, I believe that's the Thursday night. Yep. So they're playing
to open the season as the Bears versus the Texans?
No.
Not the regular season. Yeah,
they're opening the preseason, and so actually,
gosh, I thought it was something significant. Sorry.
Thank
you for clarifying.
Wow, you had me there.
I'm serious. I'm like, what the heck? The Bears Texans opening the season? Like, where was I?
2025
Sorry,
be a
my
Super Bowl review.
Hey, that is the opener, though, right? I mean, that is the drought ender.
It is. I watch that bullshit game every year, man.
Every year, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and here's the thing: like, it's going to be interesting because it really kind of changes the schedule. The Bears start earlier with their camps and everything like that, which can be good or bad. I think it'll be good, obviously, having their rookies in a little bit earlier. Yeah, I mean, you still watch it, still football. It's still kind of that kind of whetting the appetite, getting ready for the season.
It always
is going to stink. It's going to be a stinker as usual.
Yeah, it'll be a stinker.
As long as nobody gets hurt, I'm good with that. As long as nobody gets hurt.
That's how you win the Hall of Fame.
Plays. Nobody important plays in the Hall of Fame game. Like the starters don't even play. Like they might play like a snap.
No Caleb, no Stroud.
Nah.
The arm wrestle is
Caleb will. Yeah, Bajan. Yeah, Caleb will probably play maybe a series or something just to get his feet wet. I have a question about Justin Fields. Oh, Pack Daddy, bring it.
I love Pack Daddy. He's one of my favorites.
Let's go. I love questions about Justin Fields.
All right, I'll let the field answer question about Justin Fields.
Hey, while we're waiting for this though, I have a question for you, Andy.
Fire
on
away.
Williams. Since you've always been a Caleb Williams fan, man.
From day one.
From day
Since
one.
He was at Oklahoma. Yep. What
are the odds that he's not the guy?
Oh, we mean that he doesn't get picked?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's 0%. I think we're all. Yeah.
He wouldn't trade with Washington. So
yeah, we're all in on Caleb Williams. He's going to be a Super Bowl MVP year one.
Oh, is he going to get traded to somebody else?
No. To be honest, I have high expectations for this roster now. It's been last year we were there with even my guy Justin Fields, who I will admit did have limitations.
Now you admit he has limitations. So when I said that last year, I got freaking hacked.
Hey, Dick,
not
you know
a
what
Bear
else
anymore.
last
It's not a
year?
Bear.
Jordan Love's the best quarterback in the NFC, and now he's saying that he's mid. So
I've got a
he says
T-shirt
lot.
coming for the draft. Jordan Love is mid, which I
I'm just
did
saying,
miss
last year you were saying he was the best quarterback in the NFC, bro.
for 1 week. Absolutely.
2 weeks.
Okay,
NFC
2 weeks. Yeah,
Offensive Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row.
he did. I'll give you that.
He was the best.
Justin
But-
Fields
but-
never won that award, I don't think.
We're not talking about
Justin
Jordan.
Fields, yeah. Did he ever get nominated for that?
Maybe
Well,
against
never had
He had
Washington
back-to-back
Redskins.
He had back-to-back 4 touchdown games.
Oh, that's right, but he never
So,
won it.
That's
though.
the highlight of
Right,
his
that's
career.
right, that's
I
right.
I swear to
take
God,
it.
yo, that is.
I'll
It
take
really
it.
Half his TDs all came in 2 weeks.
Hey,
is.
I'll take it.
That's fact. That's fact.
Pack Daddy
But
stirred the
speaking
pot,
of
man.
Caleb, yeah, he's going to be the pick. That's kind of the thing. He's already met with teammates and everything. So it's going to happen. I'm excited. I think he's got all the talent. Sounds like he can make all the throws. Everything is really in place that wasn't in place for Justin, and that was the frustrating thing. Justin, such a great guy. But he's got talent, and I think having this new start in Pittsburgh is going to be helpful. All the people that are like, "Oh, he's a bust," No, he's not. Justin Fields is not a bust. He has had limitations, needs to grow, and that was the one thing I heard about the Jaden Daniels as well. That he's similar to Fields, and I think we've talked about this before. You guys tried to awaken me to this. That Justin Fields only sees half the field. I've heard Jaden Daniels is similar to that.
Wow.
So I was on the Jaden Daniels kind of train, but I think that's the good thing about Caleb is he is smart. He's able to make all the throws physically. It's going to be different for Chicago, just with his personality. That's going to be the big thing. Like, he really doesn't care. Like, he just doesn't. But he can handle it. He's been a star. And so the expectations are big, and even Nick Wright was on the CHGO podcast talking about how the Bears can be a 10-win team. Pack Daddy loves it. All right.
Daddy loved it.
2 words, sophomore slump. Who's the sophomore? Because I've been told that Jordan Love was a rookie last year. So does this mean he's a sophomore slump?
I don't
So-
think it
But
works
you
that
kept saying
way.
he's not.
This is year 5, man.
He is year 5. Well, but so right.
hid
I
his
agree.
Does that guy
sophomore
doesn't know what
slump
he's
from
talking
you
about?
guys.
Maybe he's not drinking caffeine. Have you watched
Caffeine
the
and
NFL
green.
caffeine?
Well,
He
the
said,
jig is up. Everybody knows he's good now, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him. They're going to know how to attack him this year. Everybody knows he's good.
possible.
I think it is. I will admit I am scared that Jordan Love will continue to improve and on what he did in the end of the season. But before Thanksgiving, I mean, Trevor, where were you at? Before you woke up on Thanksgiving morning, before you even dug into any of your food. Actually, you're in Canada, so you were.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
I was
But
wondering
where
where
were
you
you
at
out there. I
US
was like,
Thanksgiving
where are
here
you?
too. I love Thanksgiving. I'll celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada, United States, China. I don't care.
But you were
I'm
worried.
just
I know
thankful
you were worried.
365.
You were worried about Jordan Love before, right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
I mean, that's why Packer fans now are like, okay, now he's the MVP. I mean, pump those brakes.
Nah, we saw him grow. We saw him grow, and he beat good teams. Like, that's the thing. It's who he beat. He didn't just beat anybody. He beat us. He beat the Chiefs. He beat the Cowboys. He beat good teams. That says a lot about him. A whole
Just some
lot.
good teams too.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He
The
beat
Lions.
us.
I don't think
He
ever
beat
did.
us once, and then he lost. Then he gave us one.
He beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 I know. So I'm with you. G. Because yeah, he did struggle. I'm the first to say that. I was nervous after that. What do we start? 3-6 or something
I
crazy
think
like
that
that?
Raiders game, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
he threw
Raiders
it
game was
right to the
depressing.
yeah.
The Giants game was maddening. I was so angry after that one. But you know what? We were down. We needed to win out. There was no room for error, and he balled out, man. And
he got
I just
better
think,
every
like,
week.
I couldn't. I picked that we were going to lose to the Chiefs. I said we're going to lose to the Detroit Lions at Thanksgiving because it was in Detroit. I was wrong. I loved it. Listen, my thing is, you guys are all mad now because, in all honesty, you're mad because we found a quarterback so quickly, right? And I get it. I understand. I'd be mad too. But here's the thing: 5 rough weeks. I'm forgetting about those because it's growing pains, man.
Yep.
This kid he doesn't look like he gets rattled. I'm not saying he's going to win MVP. Like, I know there's a lot of Miles isn't saying he's going to win MVP. What I wanted was he's a Pro Bowler. That's all I want. If we could just get a Pro Bowl quarterback, I'd be happy. Guess what? He had Pro Bowl numbers. They picked Geno Crap Smith over him. I'm still mad about it. And so he's a Pro Bowl quarterback in year stinking 1.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. Do I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL? No, but he's really good. He's really
Miles,
good. Like, Dynasty League, people want Stroud. Maybe you want Jordan Love instead, man. I mean, both those guys.
Preaching.
I like them both.
Let them know.
Dave, you're not buying the Jordan Love hype, right?
What do you mean the hype? It's the reality.
Wait, let the Vikings fan let Dave, you're not buying it, right? Are you on my side?
I'm not all in on Love, but
All right,
I will
I'll
say,
take that.
especially the first half of the season, like you said, he was terrible. I was like, this is not the guy. Good, they got rid of Rodgers. I'm glad. And listen, he did look really, really good in the second half. And I guess that's all you can ask for as a Packers fan. Just kind of like what I was always saying that the Bears fans should want from Fields is to see some improvement. And I just don't think that ever happened. But Love did. He did. He looked really good. And that sucks as a Vikings fan, as a fan of an opposing team. Maybe he got hot. Maybe he's the real deal. I mean, second season's, probably going to show a lot. He looked better than I thought. I'll give him credit for that. But he was terrible at first, and I was glad about that.
I was gonna say, Miles, how much is he worth though? Because they should be signing him pretty soon this offseason to an extension. Are they gonna like pony up? I mean,
yes. Pay that
give
man
him $500 million. Take it. What?
Pay that man. Pay that man his money. Pay him yesterday. Don't do what the Cowboys did with Dak Prescott and cost yourself $10 million a year by waiting a year. That was so boneheaded, and they're still paying for it. Pay him right now, whatever he wants. Lock him in. Absolutely.
Yeah. I get it. They have to do that. There is a possibility that he could regress. I mean, it's
possible. But I think at this point, and it's funny because we were talking about the sophomore slump. I said tongue-in-cheek, we hid his sophomore slump, right? That was the year, was it 2021? And everybody's talking about, they don't even know what they have in Jordan Love. That was the sophomore slump. This guy's trajectory is upward, and nobody knows that better than the people in the building. And there's some criticism there at the end of Rodgers' tenure. They don't know what they have in Love. They don't know. They know. These guys know. Now, you're going in season 5. If he's going to struggle, it's probably for predictable reasons as far as the coaching staff and all of that is concerned. It's going to be defenses throwing things at you that you haven't seen before, as far as Jordan Love goes. But every rep that man takes is another rep that he's got in his belt to say, okay, now I've experienced that. I know what to do next time I see that. And he's already demonstrated some of that, right? Like he has, I love how much he's talked on podcasts this offseason. And he, I think, got Micah Parsons almost in trouble with how much he was spilling about that Cowboys game.
Mm.
But I mean, he was able to speak to, we saw this and we did that, right? And he remembered seeing this, so now we're going to do that. And so those are the types of things you want to see from a quarterback. I mean, I've said it and I'll keep saying it as on repeat. The things that make a quarterback great in the NFL is great decision making. That is like the thing. You can have a cannon arm, Jamarcus Russell, and turn into a bum. You can be a playmaker in college, Johnny Manziel, and turn into a bum. If you can't make good decisions, you're not going to be a good quarterback. Tom Brady was not the most talented thrower of the football in NFL history, but he probably is the best decision maker at the quarterback decision in NFL history. And so that's where, if I'm looking at Jordan Love and I'm wondering, how does this guy project forward? I'm looking at, like, how does he make his decisions? How comfortable is he making those decisions as a passer and executing on those things? And I've seen no reason to believe that he's going to regress in that. And so there will be struggles. There will be, this guy missed an assignment. We made the wrong call in this moment. We hadn't seen this before, and next time we will do that. There will always be moments and scenarios and things where someone comes up short or makes a mistake or whatever it is. So I'm not sitting here saying this guy is on track for perfection. But as far as just a general trajectory goes, you just got to believe it's upward. And if I'm Goot, sign the contract, man.
Well, obviously you're hyped for your quarterback. Seventh letter. What is your way too early before the draft happens quarterback rankings? Where do you put Caleb and Vikings quarterback? Would you take Goff rather than Love?
For my offense, probably. Yeah. For my offense, yeah, I'll take Goff. But is Love better? That's what you're asking me? I would rank it above Goff, yeah. But I think it's like the things that you can't see. Goff, I'll take Goff over. You know what I mean? Like the same thing with Tom Brady and other quarterbacks. Like, kind of. I'm not saying Goff is Tom Brady by no stretch of the imagination, but with the chip that Jared Goff has on the shoulders, he tends to rise. He plays better against when there's another good quarterback on the other side. He plays up. So I like that about him. I haven't seen Jordan Love tested with that yet. You know what I mean? So I can't say that, but that's what I like about athletes. Like, it's like you like Jordan. Yeah, I like Jordan over LeBron because of that edge. You know what I mean? Tom Brady, that edge. I liked him over Peyton Manning. It was that edge that Tom Brady had, that thing that when he make that throw that you need to be made, make that right decision. So I do think Jordan Love is the best quarterback in our division at this moment. Yes. Ooh. Because of his legs and just how the ball comes out. Like, I'm a Matthew Stafford guy. You know what I mean? I still admire that ability, the strong arm, the person that can throw off any base. Like, I like that. He just plays for the Packers, so I can't. But he is. I mean, from what I saw last year, I'm impressed with who he beat. That's what I'm impressed with. I'm impressed with the Cowboy game and how he kicked his ass. He just held the torch and continued to whoop on them Cowboys' ass. Beating the pack, beating beating the Chiefs and beating us on Thanksgiving. It's like when he gets hot, it's ugly. And it's no turning back. When he get hot, it's scary, and that's another thing about him that that scares me a lot. So yeah, it's gonna be between us and the Packers. I think.
So I'll take that because obviously it's fan time of year, and I've had Packer fans, Trevor, saying that Love is better than Hurts. You guys aren't on that, right? Hurts is still better than Love.
Hurts is not that good.
Hell no. No, he's not. No.
What?
No.
They figured him out last year. You saw it.
He was the MVP conversation.
You know what the difference is?
What happened last month of the season was terrible.
Love figured them out. They figured him out. Once they stop, because he always looking for the pass rush. He ain't looking for the receivers. And once they figured that out, he was getting
talking about Hurts, right?
6 and 7.
He's not a top 5 quarterback.
Hurts is not a top 5 quarterback.
No,
Not even
hell
close.
no.
I can name 5 guys off the top of my
What?
head. Josh Allen,
No.
Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. That's 3 without me.
Herbert.
Herbert, I would take.
Herbert hasn't
easily.
done anything.
Okay, I still
Herbert's
take
a good quarterback. He just had
player.
terrible
Lamar
coaching.
Jackson. That's
Come on,
5
man.
right there.
Really? Well, so it really, I think it depends on your criteria. There's so much criteria. I've been told by a lot of people, some people on here, that wins matter for a quarterback. For Justin Fields, that wins matter. Jalen Hurts led his team to a Super Bowl, and Jordan Love has not yet.
Man, stop it.
I'm just being honest.
I'm not
Yo,
saying Jordan
come
Love.
on, bro.
Man.
Yo, he had
But-
but the
All
defense.
right.
The defense is like one of the most experienced defenses in the league. He had a great defense.
Oh, they had a
Once that
stacked team.
defense got old and they wasn't getting home again,
They got a
he
stack.
showed
team.
himself.
They got exposed.
He had great receivers. AJ Brown's one of the best.
Word.
Devontae Smith.
He lost
That
to
team
the
was-
Bucks. He got blown out by the Bucks. They got blown out by the Giants. They almost lost to the Giants 2 weeks before that when they played the whole game.
And when
Yo.
it comes to criteria, I'll keep it consistent. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my criteria is decision making, right? So
Mhm.
a good indication of decision making can be your touchdown to interception ratio. Can we agree on that?
See, that's Spanish for yes.
So Jordan Love last season, what have you done for me lately? Jordan Love, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
What was Patrick Mahomes? What was his?
Ooh, let's give
was
me a
bad.
second. I'll
You
get
can't
over there.
use
Probably
that.
wasn't
You
very
can't
good,
use
though.
that.
Oh,
can't
did
use
we?
that.
Did
Pat
you just use
Mahomes
that?
was-
Bringing
I was-
Pat
yo,
Mahomes
yo,
in.
yo, I was playing receiver. Dave was the slot. Like, you can't do that.
Just because I'm
can't
a
do
white guy,
that.
I'm a black guy.
He got two number one wide receivers on his team.
Yeah,
He got the
night and
best
day on the
offensive
talent.
line in the game. Come on, you can't do it. It's just it's not black and white. You can't do that.
All right.
I got to run, boys.
All right. Thanks, Trevor.
All right.
Right,
Slice,
Rev.
Love you guys.
And
Take care.
and not only that, the Packers did it with the youngest team in the NFL on offense.
Oh, this is
He was playing with my son in them. Like, he won with that. With a bunch of third-round receivers, second-round receivers, and they best receivers hurt. He didn't even do shit.
Dude, Christian Watson's a bum. That guy is terrible.
Oh, receipt taken, sir. Can't
He's so
wait to
bad.
bring that one back.
I hope, you know what? I hope he figures it. I don't hope he figures it out. But he's so bad. Why can't he catch? He can't catch.
Yep.
And he's always hurt. All he
Yep.
does is drop balls and get hurt. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me.
Well,
So
listen,
fast,
all right.
hamstrings
The injuries
can't
thing is a hamstring thing, and that's been the same injury, and he has not had an injury history before that. So,
maybe it's the Packers' fault.
well, there's been a lot of shots fired in
Yeah,
that direction. You know, they
Yeah.
did turn over their strength and conditioning staff.
Mhm.
They did.
So yeah, and they brought in the guy out of San Francisco who managed to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy. Like being able to keep that dude healthy, you got my attention.
And give him the ball as many times as he gets it and
Yeah.
just keep him healthy.
So I think Christian Watson, you need to let that one cook a little bit more before we decide what he is.
That's all. This is third hit.
We'll see.
But
We'll
as
see.
far
We'll
as
see.
potential goes, the man is sky's the limit still. Like just
Listen,
his
potential,
size, his
what
speed.
we all know about potential. We've seen that
Yep.
a million times. Listen,
We have.
I think he's got the potential, but he hasn't done it. He's
He
always
scored
hurt.
12 touchdowns
And
in his first 2 seasons. I mean, that's not nothing.
He can score in the red zone, but he can't stay healthy, and he drops a lot of balls.
Man,
I
he
think
gets-
I
we're
think Jaden Reed's
minimizing.
better. I think Romeo Dobbs is better. I think they're both
Yeah.
better than him.
I think we're minimizing LaFleur too. Like you guys,
Oh,
I will
yeah.
say that I still have a man crush on LaFleur.
Yeah, I think he's a good
Just
coach.
the way that he's able to scheme wide receivers open. All of us could have caught a pass for a touchdown versus the Cowboys, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'd
You're
have
not
75
wrong.
yards. Word up.
right?
He's been
A
scheming
walk-
the heck out of it. And a lot of that does have to do with Christian Watson when he's healthy. And that's
Yes,
one
he
of the
pushes
things.
everything back. He make people play me straight up. Everybody got to go back and respect speed.
I know. I get that. Speed
They know how
kills.
fast he is.
We
That's
know
the
about
thing.
that.
So
all right.
no.
Let's do one other thing then. All right, what about the NFC North wide receiver rankings? I'm gonna start with you, Dave. NFC North wide receiver rankings as they stand now, a week before the 2024 NFL Draft.
Well, we know who's number one. I mean, that's pretty much undebatable.
Bears?
Number 2 is the Bears. I'll take the. I mean, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore is. I hate to say it, it's a great tandem. You know, as old as Keenan Allen is, and he seems to be hurt a lot too, but he's awesome. He's an amazing player. And DJ Moore is too. And I mean, you got to say the Lions third because the Amon-Ra St. Brown's great too. I mean, I think the Packers have really good, young players, but they're not nearly as proven as the other 3 teams. And I just feel like you can't put those guys ahead of the rest.
Miles, shots fired. What are your thoughts on that? What's your rankings?
I'm projecting, right? I'm looking forward. So I do not think that the Bears have a better receiver group than the Packers. So
you saying all around or just?
Yeah, it sounds like we're talking about this as a group, right?
I'm talking about this year. I would take Keenan Allen and DJ Moore over the Packers. Any duo you want to put. That's all.
Nope,
absolutely.
Not me. I'm happy to disagree.
Okay.
No, and DJ Moore, great receiver. Keenan Allen at his best, great receiver. I think, again, looking at this year, Keenan Allen's getting older. So we'll see how that goes. That drop off is steep when it happens. You don't know when it happens, so we'll see.
It could happen. You're
Talk
right.
about injury prone. Guys had injuries. DJ Moore's good. Who do you have after that, though? That's what I'm looking at. Like, after those two, who do you got? I mean, the Packers.
Roma Dunza.
These guys, maybe.
The Bears should take the best receiver at 9. They would be scarier.
I think
they need a left tackle.
I was just saying, I go O-line.
Yeah.
I can't argue. I get it.
Yeah.
I go O-line. But there's going to be a special receiver there that's going to be very tempting. It's going to be very hard to pass up. I don't know which one it's going to be, but there will be one there. So, yeah. So, like, say a situation happens and you land a Malik Neighbors.
That's scary.
That's the Giants.
All right. Now we got to have a conversation. But as things stand, the Packers, I mean, they're going 5 or 6 deep. I mean, even those guys past Jaden Reed, they're contributing. We're talking about Dontavian Wicks. A lot of people are really, really hyped for him. I'm not hyped for him, but I'm just like, I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic. But even the guys after that, they made some serious contributions down the stretch there. And I think that kind of points to how the Packers have historically, at least recently in the last couple of decades, approached the receiver position. They don't go for the Megatron or the Justin Jefferson. They do the receiver by committee approach, and you end up with Jake Kumro and some of these other dudes catching touchdowns at the end of the season in crucial situations.
Jeff Janis.
Jeff Janis, man, catching those Hail Marys and you've got, signs of that taking shape again this last season with Bo Melton coming in and making some plays and Malik Heath kind of not letting people forget about him. So I am very, very biased for sure about the Packers receiver group, but very optimistic. And if we're looking at it as a whole, I'll give the Vikings their due. Jefferson and Addison, man, like that's a hell of a duo. No telling, you might add another one in there in this deep draft.
They need one, so I think they might take one.
I have a really hard time. I mean, I don't want to I don't know. For me, the other 3, it's like pick your poison kind of. Like there's an argument to be made for each one. But I'm going to let my bias put the Bears on the bottom, and I'm going to give the slight edge to the Packers over the Lions. But do I have great reason for that? No. But go Pack, go.
Are you drinking green Kool-Aid too? 7th letter?
Hell yeah.
No, 7th letter of it.
I drink blue juice, man. That's what I drink, man. But not no more because my thirsty ass kids drank my Gatorade. So.
So are you what are your wide receiver ranking in 7th letter?
I'm gonna go with probably the Vikings at 1. But they do have receivers. That's what they do have. That's what makes them able to compete so well with anybody because of the Addison and Jefferson factor. I'm gonna go with me, number 2. Amon-Ra, All-Pro St. Brown. Jameson Williams, 3rd year. Hopefully he does what we drafted him at 11-4. I like our receiving core. I think that the Packers they don't have a number 1. They do, but he's never healthy. But that's also their, the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a whole bunch of 1Bs that can do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna rank the receiver, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, I like Reed for the Packers.
I like Reed too.
Because he's a problem on 3rd down. He's always getting loose somehow, you know what I mean? And I like Romeo Doubs a lot.
Yeah.
And I like DJ Moore. DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, 5 A and B. I do. I like Keenan Allen too. A lot. You know that though. But I do think
absolutely.
I don't think he'll finish the season because our division is so our division gonna be the toughest division in the NFL, man. It is.
I mean, I am a little bit worried about that. That's kind of even what we talked about before he was traded to the Bears. Why I ranked DJ Moore ahead of Keenan Allen, because the availability, even in that Packer game, that when he was with the Chargers, he dropped a couple of would-be touchdowns real quick, right? On the goal line.
I think he'll be good though. The thing about Keenan Allen is that his ability to get open is
his route running is great,
speed related. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a fast guy, but as far as his route tree is crazy. He can do what he wants. He catches deep passes, and he's not fast, but he's big. He can run routes, and he's competitive. He's a competitive wide receiver. That's what makes him good. So even him being a little bit, long in the tooth now, I think he'll still be effective for you guys. We just got to make sure we keep that quarterback off the ground so you don't have to arm wrestle the son throwing to him, because then he'll get hurt because he'll be throwing those, those rest in peace balls to him.
So hearing a little bit about, what Shane Waldron does well for the Seahawks, or what he did well for the Seahawks as a play caller, is that he was able to move the pocket a lot, right? And I think that's going to be good for Caleb Williams coming in, but that's going to be good for DJ Moore and some of these, and Keenan Allen, being able to get open and just find the pockets. I think that's going to be good. I'm excited for what Shane Waldron's going to do. Just with this Bears offense, with both of the wide receivers. The big thing last year, hearing just a little bit about Shane Waldron, is that our offensive coordinators, you have some offensive coordinators that are good at calling plays, some are good at calling games. And that was the thing about Shane Waldron, is he's good at calling a game and not just plays, like the Getsy, who is now Gonzi, what he had done. He was good at scripting the first 10 plays or whatever it was, and then he couldn't adjust. So I'm looking forward to what Shane Waldron does with obviously both DJ Moore. I mean, even with my guy Fields, DJ Moore what's that?
What if it wasn't Getsy?
Oh,
from last
dun.
Say more.
Maybe Justin Fields was just that bad.
Maybe it was Fields.
Me, it was definitely Getsy. It was definitely Getsy. Absolutely. And we're going to find that the Raiders, I mean, right? I mean, how did he get another job? How did he get a job? But that was, week 1, we found that out, right? I mean, Packers were able to adjust. The Bears were not. And that's, how pissed off I was, but that's what it was. I mean, you have a coaching staff, and also, that, there was so much, there's so much that they could have done, but Packers were able to adjust, and Getsy was not able to. So I'm going to go to my grave saying it was not Fields, it was Getsy. I'm going to stick by that.
All right.
Especially when maybe week three of the 2024 season, when Justin Fields takes over for Russell Wilson. He's going to take over. He's going to say, let's ride.
He's overthrowing new receivers. That's all.
What if he's Mariota? Go ahead.
Oh, man. Shots fired. Shots fired tonight.
Well, at least you don't have to suffer through Justin Fields anymore. So
That's true.
What if he's good? What if it ends up being Bears Steelers Super Bowl? How about that? What would you guys say then?
My God.
I'll say hell must have frozen over. Yeah, something's wrong.
I would say, God, I had so much more life to live.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's awesome.
Well, this has been a fun episode tonight. Obviously, next week we're going to try to go from the hotel in Detroit, heading to the draft. On the eve of the draft, we'll get some reactions and some thoughts. Obviously, everyone is able to or is welcome to join us. Even you, Dave. I'm glad to have you back. It
was a nice surprise when I got that message from you. I was like, maybe he's drunk. I don't know.
Man, because I've been screaming for Vikings, man. No Vikings. No more Vikings.
No. And
we all got tired of Andy, so we gotta get it.
That's pretty much true. So where can everyone find you as we close here, Dave?
At Viking Dave 18 on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
Are you going to be on your couch on the edge of your seat at the draft? What is your draft?
I'm having a bunch of friends over. We did it last year, so because I mean, worst case scenario, the Vikings don't trade up and we get 2 picks. So I mean, I'm excited either way. Whether we draft a quarterback at 4 or 5 or whatever, or we wait and we take, like I said, one of the guys a little bit later, which wouldn't be the worst thing with a deep draft. There's a couple really, really good. There's a lot of you guys were talking. There's so many good players in this draft. If we got Nix or Penix in another player, I wouldn't hate that. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for the draft. Obviously, having 2 first rounders is just like you. It was exciting.
Absolutely is. And Miles, where can everyone find you, and what will your draft setup be like?
Yeah, you guys can find me 9:30 at night on Mondays, Packer time, Packers Weekly Podcast. Miles Tedick, first name, last name on Twitter, Twix. I'm gonna make it happen. We're gonna bring that back.
I like that.
Right side or left side?
What's that?
Right side or left side, Twix?
Oh man, don't bring that in. You're gonna get people all in sorts of trouble.
Is that a thing? I've never heard.
Oh,
that.
Yeah, that was a commercial. That was a whole commercial.
I don't
Twix,
remember that. Okay,
the right Twix and the left Twix.
When
we're talking about Twitter, man, that's where it's like, I don't want to talk about right and left Twitter.
That's
No. Find us Monday night, 9:30 is Pack Weekly Pod. For the draft this year, we're going to be hanging out here at home, but we're talking about doing a little bit of a live stream maybe during the draft or quick live stream after for some reactions. So trying to stay in a place where I can do that. But looking forward to some new Packers, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to do stuff throughout the day. I'm going to be, when you go to the draft, if anyone has not actually been there, you have to pretty much go at like 7, 8 a.m. and pretty much stake your spot out and stay there until the whole day. There's a lot of things going on in Detroit, but it's going to be interesting because the main stage is in one park and then all the activities are in another. So, but we're going to be kind of camped out there. Probably going to be, I've got some mics. We're doing some interviews and try to do a couple things as we're kind of waiting. My son will be with me, and I'll be wearing a couple of different fun things. I've got my Jordan Love is mid shirt.
I actually really like that shirt. Send me one.
Unfortunately, I missed the boat, and it should have been a midriff shirt.
That would have been perfect.
Better, but no one wants to see that. So it's going to be cold. So, but you can find me on obviously on NFL Outdated on YouTube, on Twitter, on here, and stay tuned for some of those things that will be coming up, and also on the Freezin 4 pod TikTok. Should have a lot of fun, a lot of fan interactions. Hopefully next week at the draft as well. I'm definitely going to connect with some Lions fans already. Seventh Letter, where can we find you and online, and where can we find you on draft night?
You can find me 7th Letter or on Twitter, X, same OG on Instagram and Facebook. And I actually got to work that day, so I'm just gonna come home, put me some buffalo wings in, air fry them, and just sit on the couch and hope the dog don't bark.
Well, thankfully, you're not drafting very high this year.
Yeah, I could probably go to the gym after work. So I'll probably go to the gym first and then catch like around pick 15th because it's, they take forever to get to 20, 29.
Yeah, you'll be there till about 11 o'clock. So good luck.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'll be working. So I'll probably go to the gym. Then, pay attention to my phone.
You're gonna miss Drake May becoming a Viking.
That would be possible.
You think so?
That's the guy. I mean, I am excited. I hope we do. But I mean, again, I'm okay with whatever. But
he played good with good receivers. So y'all got good receivers. So it's just when he didn't have receivers.
I will say, and I'm a little bit biased. I feel like the Vikings offense and team in general is really, really set up well for a rookie or a young quarterback with the receivers. Hawkinson, they have a pretty solid. They have two great tackles. You have an offensive minded coach. I think it's set up well. So as long as the guy isn't terrible, I'm excited for whoever they pick. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's one question. Does the NFC go through the North? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going through.
Well, it went through the North last year, and then the Lions just choked in the second half. Shit all over.
Man, we got young. The fucking 49ers is all grandfathers. We lost to a same way the Packers lost. The experience just beat us. That's it. Like they just more experienced than we are. They made plays when they had to. They've been there before. We haven't. That shit ain't happening again. Tell you that. It ain't happening again.
I think we said this a few times this offseason. The NFC North is going to be the best division.
For real, without a doubt.
And even with the Vikings being 3-14, it's
I
still
will roll.
One pick, baby. Let's go.
To the playoffs is going to be much more difficult than theirs are. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be more ready, and we're going to beat the shit out the 49ers this time. Watch.
Whether it's the Lions or the Packers, I do think that this is the end for the 49ers. One of us must put
49ers are pretty good, man.
It's over. It's over.
Got to be over for them.
It's over.
No.
Could be California kid Caleb as well. Doing that.
It's not.
Once again, it's been the Freezin NFC North Podcast. Everyone, like, subscribe, comment. Feel free to roast me on Twitter. I love it. And I can take it all day long.
Except on Sunday around 4:00. Go ahead, keep going.
Better bring your big boy pants and not just the 1985 stuff. Come on, bring some good stuff. I love it. So, but once again, thanks again, everybody, and we will hopefully see you next week. Have a good night.
See you guys.
Nice.